Hello, I'm Tim and welcome to Read TV. It's lovely to see you, but before we go any further, here's a video of two grown men drawing pictures upside down with their left hands blindfolded in 30 seconds. Yes, that's what I said. Watch this. Hello everyone, I'm here with Todd. Say hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd.
So, we've been playing these different games. Today, I have Ultimate Sensory Deprivation Pictionary.
Ooh.
Although it's not really Pictionary, and I'm not going to, take out your eyeballs.
Okie dokie.
So the way this works is Katie, without telling me, has given me a hat full of various things for us both to draw. We will both draw the thing I pull out the hat in 30 seconds. I've got a timer ready to go on the clock. And the YouTube audience will decide which of the two is best. However, what makes it sensory deprivation is, one, our eyes will be closed. Two, you will use your weak hand, so I'm going to use my left hand. And three, you have to draw it upside down.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be blindfolded, wrong-handed, upside down, 30 seconds, and I've not seen these words, and neither's Todd, obviously. And the first word is, all right, fire. Start, upside down, left hand. Ah, that's it, pens down. Show us yours. Hold it to the camera. Wow, that's actually pretty nice. Here's mine.
That's good.
That is disastrous.
I see the wood. I see the wood.
Number one, Todd or Tim. Number two, a cup of tea. Yeah, that's it, time up. Okay, Todd, let's see it. Wow, that's nice. It looks like Bart Simpson with a really big ear. Now, this is going to take some explaining. I tried to write tea, and these are biscuits. So number two, Todd or Tim, cup of tea. Okay, it is sheep. That's it.
Oh my goodness me. What is that?
After you. That's impressive. That is impressive.
Oh, brilliant. I like it.
It's a happy sun, and he says, "Bar."
He says bar, and his head's exploding off his body. It's brilliant.
It's a retractable sheep head. Okay, everyone. Number three, Todd or Tim. Todd, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome.
Bye.
So, for the last few weeks, we've been looking at reasons why I believe in God, and this week, it's all about Jesus. Everywhere you look, there are people with opinions on Jesus. He is the most influential and divisive character throughout all of history. There's got to be something about this guy. First off, if you go on Amazon and just look up the sheer amount of Jesus products, something weird is going on. There are Jesus bobbleheads and Jesus action figures. You've got Harley Davidson Jesus, Surfer Jesus, Skateboarding Jesus. I'm not too sure what this one is. Maybe it's Reading a Book Jesus. Jesus is my homeboy t-shirts as worn by Pamela Anderson and Tom Cruise. Jesus soap on a rope. Wash your hands and say your prayers because Jesus and germs are everywhere. Do you remember these sort of Jesus Saint charm bracelets? A few years ago, everyone was wearing these. And then they died off because, frankly, they're really ugly. It's not just products. Everyone wants to claim Jesus for themselves. So if you're a footballer, Jesus, of course, saves. Hey. If you're a Star Wars nerd like me, then Jesus is obviously a Jedi. If you strike me down, I'll become far more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Every cause wants to claim Jesus supports it. So according to these people, Jesus is obviously pro-drugs. According to these people, he's obviously pro-gun. Not sure what I think of either of those. These are two famous atheists, including Richard Dawkins, a guy who wrote The God Delusion. It says atheist for Jesus, so according to these guys, Jesus is obviously pro-atheist. A few years ago, during not the last, but the one before that presidential election in America, both sides, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, claimed that Jesus was on their side. There's been over 100 movies made on the life of Jesus, including The Passion of the Christ, The Da Vinci Code, more recently Noah and Risen. Wait for this, a Canadian kung fu horror comedy, yes, you heard that right, Canadian kung fu horror comedy, Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. Jesus pops up in really weird places. He was on the front cover of Popular Mechanics magazine. There is also a 110-foot, 750-pound Jesus hot air balloon, and my absolute famous, and I promise you this is real, this is a Jesus monster truck. I said before that everyone wants to claim Jesus, so Hitler himself said, "In boundless love, and as a Christian and as a man, I read how terrific was Jesus' fight for the war against the Jewish poison." What? So according to Hitler, Jesus was a Nazi. According to Fidel Castro, he was a communist. Christ chose a fisherman because he was a communist. Pamela Anderson, just to steer away from the crazy dictators, said, "Jesus is my homeboy. Jesus is somewhat cool in a trendy sort of way. And if you wanted high philosophy, you can't beat that." Then, of course, John Lennon from the Beatles famously said, "We're bigger than Jesus now." Bless him. It's not just people and causes and products. All the world's major religions also want to claim something about Jesus. And so Jesus in Islam was another prophet. In Buddhism, he was an enlightened man. In Hinduism, Jesus is a god, one of a million gods. Jehovah's Witness has their own view on Jesus too. They say Jesus is God's son, but not in the way you are thinking. He was physically born in heaven first and then came to earth, but he's not God. Mormons say Jesus is the archangel Michael and the brother of the devil. There is a Canadian nudist arsonist cult. Yes, you heard me right. Canadian nudist arsonist cult. I feel like the Canadians are getting a really bad rep in this. Sorry, Canadians, you're awesome. But there is a Canadian nudist arsonist cult. Jesus for them is code for getting naked, taking hallucinogenic mushrooms and starting fires. A famous Christian pastor once said, if you're going to join a cult, join a fun one. Movies, books, TV shows, you've got products, you've got religions, everyone's got an opinion about Jesus, but it doesn't stop there. I'll throw some people up now that you might not have heard of. This is Werner Aber. He's one of the world's leading microbiologists and geneticists. He's won the Nobel Prize, he's been through some of the top universities in the world. One of the world's top biological scientists is a believer in Jesus. William Campbell, he is a biologist, again winner of the Nobel Prize, also a believer in Jesus. Tyler Vanderweel, he's a top professor of biostatistics at Harvard University. This is Mary Schweitzer, I think that's how you pronounce it. She's one of the world's top paleontologists, really world renowned for her work on T-Rex. Again, believer in Jesus. Richard Swinburne is Professor of Philosophy at the University of Oxford. John Lennox, who's been through the University of Cambridge and Oxford and Cardiff, one of the world's top mathematicians. This is Alvin Plantenga, who teaches at the University of Notre Dame, but he's also been through Wayne State, University of Michigan, University of Yale, Calvin College. He's the winner of the Templeton Prize, a philosopher, and in a lot of people's opinion, probably the smartest man living at the moment. Again, he's a Christian. So not only does everyone seem to claim Jesus for themselves, celebrities, religions, cults, marketing companies, causes, but some of the world's most frighteningly intelligent people are also believers in Jesus. Now you've just got to ask yourself, who could it be to have inspired all of that? This is going to be the first week of 2 on Jesus, but just to start off with, that Jesus is the most influential figure in all of history. Every major religion, some of the world's smartest people, celebrities, everyone seems to have an opinion on Jesus. I want to challenge you, learn about him. Because even if you don't like the church or Christians or religion, there's something about Jesus. And I find that really convincing, how one person can create that much following. Christianity has been the biggest swelling movement in all of history. It's all about one man. It's all about Jesus. Do you know him? Do you know about him? We'll spend next week looking at him too. In the meantime, have a brilliant week. We'll see you soon.